Good morning and welcome to the Anthony N. Sabga Awards Caribbean Excellence Announcement of the 2024 Laureates. I am Maria Superville Nielsen, Program Director of the awards.
And I am Professor Compton Bourne, Chairman of the Regional Eminent Persons Panel.
As always, we will be delighted to welcome some very talented Caribbean professionals to our College of Laureates at a gala ceremony later this year. Each will be presented with a citation, a commemorative gold coin, and a check for 500,000 TT dollars, or local currency equivalent, except where the award is shared.
I personally have been associated with these awards for more than 15 years as a member of the Eminent Persons Panel, which makes final decisions on who will become the next Caribbean Excellent Laureates. This task is seldom easy. We always have a large group of deserving nominees from across the Caribbean region.
We are eager to tell you who our laureates are. But before we share that secret, we'd like to tell you a little more about our program.
The Anthony N. Sabga Awards Caribbean Excellence were established in 2005 by the founder of the Ansa McAl Group, Dr. Anthony N. Sabga. They are meant to recognize and support excellence in human endeavor that uplifts the region. The first awards were presented in 2006. Since then, we have presented 57 Caribbean nationals with over 28 million TT dollars to support their careers and encourage further work. The award categories today are Arts and Letters, Entrepreneurship, Public and Civic Contributions, and Science and Technology. This is the Caribbean's most prestigious awards program. We've had 12 laureates from Jamaica, 14 from Guyana, 4 from Barbados, 17 from Trinidad and Tobago, and 10 from the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States. It is a truly Caribbean award for exceptional Caribbean nationals. You can nominate someone excellent for our 2025 awards today at ANSACaribbeanawards.com.
In the category of Arts and Letters, our laureate for 2024 is a musician, composer, and educator from Barbados. I am pleased to announce that the Eminent Persons Panel has bestowed this year's honor on Dr. Stephen Walcott.
Dr. Stephen Walcott is a world-renowned, multi-dimensional musical creative from Barbados, a pianist, musical and artistic director, producer, composer, and academic. His musical dexterity and prowess are well known throughout the Caribbean. He has worked with artists ranging from David Rudder of Trinidad and Tobago to Red Plastic Bag from Barbados and Luther Francois from St. Lucia. As an academic and music educator, the 44-year-old's zeal for preserving Caribbean musical traditions is a distinctive feature of his work. He has published several books of Caribbean and Barbadian folk songs, and his Caribbean Composer's Handbook is a recommended text on the CXC music syllabus. Dr. Walcott has taken the rich traditions of Caribbean music to the world as musical director of the musical Yankee Bajan, which had its U.S. premiere at a historic theater in South Carolina last year. He has also worked as a cultural consultant for the Royal Opera House's Insurrection, a work in progress, with renowned opera singer Peter Braffett. His influence on future musicians permeates his biography. Not only has he worked closely with the UWI's Faculty of Creative and Performing Arts to establish the first undergraduate music program in Barbados, he has also taught music at the UWI Cafel campus and the Barbados Community College. His alumni have gone on to play with the Barbados National Youth Orchestra and jazz ensembles. Many earn livelihoods as professional and semi-professional musicians and work in music publishing. Dr. Walcott's production company, the 1688th Collective, is a large-scale ensemble that provides an outlet for musicians to showcase their talent. The ensemble's production of Handel's Caribbean Messiah has captured the hearts of Barbadians, performing to sold-out audiences annually since 2017. It satisfies the thirst of a new concert-going audience for Eurocentric classical music, reformatted in a Caribbean indigenous framework. Indeed, all his productions have focused on telling Caribbean history through the beauty of diverse Caribbean music. In his own words, Dr. Walcott guides his students to tap into their unknown potential by reimagining traditional music. His previous awards include Light Performer of the Year at Leeds College of Music in 2002 and the Guyon Magazine Awards Hip Hop Song of the Year in 2020. For his contributions to the reimagining, preservation, and elevation of Caribbean music, Dr. Hugh Stephen Walcott of Barbados is our Arts and Letters Laureate for 2024. Congratulations, Dr. Walcott. That brings us, Professor Bowen, to the category of entrepreneurship.
For this award, we go a little further north to Jamaica, where we have selected a businessman who has made great strides in business process outsourcing, not only rapidly expanding his business, but changing the way in which the customer experience sector is perceived. Our Entrepreneurship Laureate for 2024 is Mr. Johan Epstein.
Mr. Johan Yoni Epstein is the 44-year-old founder and CEO of Jamaican customer experience provider ITEL, which employs 7,000 people in 7 countries across the Caribbean, Latin America, and North American region. Launched in 2012 with just 7 employees, ITEL now handles over 100 million customer service transactions a year via voice, chat, and email platforms for Fortune 500 companies based in the United States. ITEL's operating revenues topped $93 million in 2023, up from just under $6 million in 2016. It now operates facilities in Jamaica, Colombia, USA, Belize, Guyana, Honduras, and St. Lucia. According to the CEO of Sandals Resorts, Adam Stewart, Mr. Epstein and ITEL have transformed the way business process outsourcing companies are perceived in the Caribbean by providing facilities that keep employees comfortable, safe, and healthy. With an eye on his business's social impact, Mr. Epstein formed the 4Ys Foundation in 2019, donating to sports, education, innovation, and the environment. During the COVID pandemic, ITEL donated $750,000 in call center services to the fight against the disease in Jamaica. Mr. Epstein recognizes that beyond human capital, his business is driven by technology. ITEL has consistently adopted next-generation technology to continue competing as a Caribbean company in the global marketplace. Mr. Epstein has already been ranked among the 50 most influential executives for Latin America and the Caribbean, and was the Nearshore Americas Association Entrepreneur of the Year in 2016. Most recently, in 2023, he was bestowed the Order of Distinction in the Commander class at home in Jamaica for transforming the perception of Caribbean customer experience providers and becoming a significant employer of Caribbean nationals. Mr. Johan Epstein is our 2024 Entrepreneurship Laureate. Congratulations, Mr. Epstein.
Like our laureates for arts and letters, our laureate for public and civic contributions also hails from the island of Barbados. She is a formidable advocate for the rights of the disabled and is well known to Barbados's members of parliament. I am pleased to announce the Most Honorable Carrie Ann Eiffel, FB, as our 2024 laureate in this category.
Miss Carrie Ann Eiffel is a well-known Barbadian activist who has ceaselessly promoted the rights of people with disabilities. Since losing her vision at the age of 4, the 50-year-old has gone on to become the youngest person and first woman to be appointed president of the Barbados Senate. This was after becoming the first person with vision loss to complete a University of the West Indies degree with honors at the UWI Cave Hill campus, before completing a master's in business administration and postgraduate diploma in special education. Ms. Eiffel has been one of the premier advocates for the adoption of assistive technology for children with special needs, from primary through tertiary levels. She has been instrumental in preparing Barbados's educational institutions to receive visually impaired students, one of whom went on to become Barbados's first blind attorney at law. She has also served the wider disabled community of the Caribbean by advancing a more inclusive agenda regionally. She has served as president of the Barbados Council for the Disabled, president of the Barbados National United Society of the Blind, president of the Caribbean Council for the Blind, and vice chair of the Commonwealth Disabled People's Forum. Her colleagues and admirers say that her advocacy has been so powerful, it has created a ripple effect, encouraging others to work towards a more equitable and compassionate world. Since 2022, Ms. Eiffel has served on the Barbados Constitutional Reform Commission and was also a member of Barbados's National Committee for the Monitoring of the Rights of the Child. In 2023, she was awarded the national honor of the Order of Freedom of Barbados and is now styled the Most Honorable Carrie Ann Eiffel, FB. For an illustrious track record of empowering people with disabilities through her advocacy for legislative and educational improvements, Ms. Carrie Ann Eiffel is our Public and Civic Contributions Laureate for 2024. Congratulations to the Most Honorable Carrie Ann Eiffel, FB. Professor Bowen.
Our choice in the category of science and technology was not an easy one. We had several candidates of exceptional quality. In the end, our panel of 10 Caribbean nationals decided to share the award between two individuals who excel in very different fields. First, in alphabetical order, is Dr. Diva Amon, a marine biologist who is also a very prominent public intellectual.
Dr. Diva Amon is a marine biologist from Trinidad and Tobago, focused on improving our understanding of the ocean and how we are changing it, which has inspired her deep commitment to effective ocean stewardship. The 36-year-old's research has focused on deep-sea biodiversity and the impacts of human activity on these poorly known ecosystems. She regularly advises governments and international organizations on ocean governance and has been invited to speak on conservation issues at forums including the United Nations and the World Economic Forum. Since gaining her PhD in 2014, she has dived to parts of the deep ocean that few, if any, have explored before, published over 75 peer-reviewed research papers, and participated in research expeditions around the world. She also acts as an independent scientific consultant to clients such as the Benioff Ocean Science Laboratory at the University of California, Santa Barbara, on a range of ocean topics, from bone-eating worms and capacity building to low-cost, deep-sea imaging and marine protected areas. Dr. Amon also has an extensive record of communicating science to the public. She and her research have been featured on global outlets, including the BBC, the New York Times, and CNN International. She was also named as a National Geographic Emerging Explorer in 2020 and starred alongside actor Will Smith in the Disney Plus National Geographic series Welcome to Earth, with another National Geographic series to be released later this year. Despite this global reach, Dr. Amon is committed to advancing marine research, education, and advocacy in the Caribbean. Towards this, she has co-founded the NGO Species, which works to make positive changes to the way the ocean is used and managed, from coral reefs and turtles to rays and the deep sea in Trinidad and Tobago, the region, and the world. For her commitment to improving the conservation of the Caribbean and global marine environments through marine science, policy, and communication, Dr. Diva Amon is our 2024 Joint Laureate for Science and Technology. Congratulations to Dr. Amon. Professor Bourne, you have one more laureate to announce today.
With a specialty in pediatric neurology and for his groundbreaking work in epilepsy research that has improved treatment of the disorder across the Caribbean, our joint laureate in science and technology, and also our third Barbadian national this year, is Dr. Maurice Scantlebury.
Dr. Maurice Scantlebury is a pediatric neurologist whose research into childhood epilepsy has had a significant impact on children with acute neurological problems. He has unraveled critical mechanisms underlying progression from epileptic seizures caused by fever, which has enabled the development of targeted interventions to prevent long-term complications. Among his other notable achievements has been the development of an inexpensive, patented model of a severe seizure syndrome named infantile epileptic spasms. The model has been hailed as bringing hope to countless families affected by this devastating seizure disorder. Born in Canada, raised and educated in Barbados, 54-year-old Dr. Scantlebury now teaches and conducts research at the University of Calgary in Alberta, Canada. For over a decade, he has administered and managed pro bono pediatric epilepsy clinics in Barbados. In addition, through his private clinic, he is the sole pediatric neurologist in Barbados to offer quality care for children with debilitating neurological disorders. His work has also improved diagnosis of pediatric neurology patients in other Caribbean countries through a company he founded that has already delivered cloud-based, prolonged pediatric brain monitoring in Trinidad and Tobago and Dominica. His use of state-of-the-art tools in clinical diagnostics is revolutionary in the Caribbean. Dr. Scantlebury has published more than 50 peer-reviewed journal articles and has been awarded over 6 million Canadian dollars in highly competitive research grants. Among his previous accolades are the American Epilepsy Society Award for Excellence in Pediatric Epilepsy Research in 2004, Albert Einstein College of Medicine Research Fellowship in Neuroscience and Psychiatry in 2005, and the Calgary Black Achievement Award in Medicine in 2020. For his modeling of infantile spasms, ongoing research into the causes of epilepsy, and the salutary effects of that research on Caribbean people, Dr. Maurice Scantlebury is our joint laureate in Science and Technology for 2024.
Congratulations to all our incoming laureates. We look forward to meeting you at our ceremony in a few months. And since we have 3 laureates from Barbados, your guess about where the event will be held is probably a good one.
Before I leave you, let me say that nominations for the 2025 laureates will close on March 31st, 2024. Please visit our website at answercaribbeanawards.com to submit a nomination. Thank you for sharing these moments with us.